Welcome to week 3 of Candidate Voices with 5051 Savannah, the series that brings you 5-minute interviews with candidates for Georgia's 1st Congressional District U.S. House election 2026. We welcome any candidates running for this office who meet our mission of upholding the Constitution and ending executive overreach to participate. Each of our candidates receive the same question in advance and are allowed to prepare. Hi, I am here with Michael McCord, and we're here for week 3 of Candidate Voices with 5051 Savannah. Welcome, Michael. Our question for this week. Rural parts of the 1st District face growing healthcare deserts, especially for mental health and maternal care. What federal policies would you support to improve rural healthcare access and prevent further hospital closures in this region?
It is actually one of the most important issues affecting the district, especially folks in rural Georgia shouldn't have to drive hours just to have a baby, to see a mental health counselor. The closest trauma center is 45 minutes away, and we saw that very well during the tragic shooting we had yesterday at Fort Stewart. And it was even the state representative of the area was talking about how the closest trauma 1 center is 45 minutes away. So then OB centers and family health centers are already shut down all over rural Georgia. First, we need to stabilize rural hospitals. And I support the federal standby payments. And basically what that is, we need to have these hospitals funded 24/7. And they don't need to be running month-to-month survival, laying off doctors because they can't afford to pay them, whatever. And Congress actually can create a pretty predictable funding, and they can do it nationally for about $50 billion. So it's not a extremely high avenue. So basically what it would be is we cut out unessential. So we like elective surgeries and stuff that can be done. You can drive 45 minutes to have a skin cancer removed or, a broken finger fixed or something. So we wouldn't offer those procedures at the rural hospitals, but, life-saving stabilization care, women's health, all that stuff will still be offered there because you don't want to be in labor and have your baby in an ambulance traveling from, Brunswick to Chatham County because of a complication. You're outside that magic hour, as they call it. And then maternal care, I support, expanding the RMOMS program. And you can look that up because there's a bunch of big words that I am not going to stumble on right now. But basically, it is investing in rural birth networks, funding OBGYN to be able to go to different clinics. And also, I would mandate that 12-month postpartum Medicaid coverage be the standard for any mother to be, because it's a life-saving care for the child and the mother. And our birth rate's down right now. And if we want to encourage women to have more babies, we need to be providing at least the baseline care that they deserve. And the Medicaid for a year would do all the vaccinations for the kids, the health screenings, all that stuff, where we catch a lot of stuff early. And then third, mental health. We have a high suicide rate in rural Georgia. We have some of the highest in the country in the rural Georgia areas. And you shouldn't have to drive 45 minutes to an hour. If you're in Jessup or Braxley and you're a teen that needs help, you shouldn't have to come to Chatham to get that help. There should be right there in your backyard. So I would fully fund mental health block grants. And basically the way that would work would be give the funding to the different counties to reopen up the mental health clinics that were there. I mean, before Reagan, every community had a mental health center. And we didn't necessarily have all the issues that we're having today. So there are things we can do with the federal government. They're already in place. We just need to fund them correctly. And honestly, I can go on about this, but there's major issues with the maternal health care, especially. Georgia has I think we're the 5th or 6th highest maternal death in the Southeast, and our neighbors are not much better. So we can do this with limited. We don't have to raise taxes. We don't have to do anything crazy. The funding's there. We just need to implement it correctly, and we can't have mental health clinics closing, and the ones that are still there need to be funded. And the rural hospitals are the lifeline of our farmers and our poor people live in the rural area. If you have a stroke or a heart attack, and I mentioned this in the last video, you're outside of that 45-minute to an hour golden window. And it's unacceptable in the United States of America.